Thanks again for rejoining me on the program this morning on ITV Monday. Of course, we'll continue with our discussion segment. I have with me now a former two-time commissioner in Edo State, Minister of Education, Energy and Water Resources, now member-elect in the Edo State House of Assembly. Of course, he is the spokesperson of the Integrity Group. You know, a whole lot of issue has been on the front burner since the inauguration of the Edo State House of Assembly. The last we heard was that High Court in Rivers State gave a ruling saying the governor cannot issue a second proclamation letter for another inauguration of the House. So as it stands, based on that outcome, it means that that's not going to happen except the court overturns itself. I have with me here Barrister Washington Osifo. Barrister Washington, many thanks for joining us.
Yes, Sonny, how are you?
I'm good.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Looking good.
Well, with the court ruling, that seals the fate of any other proclamation ever coming forth. Your group has been on this path of re-inauguration. Is that ever going to be possible with the state of affairs right now?
No, by point of correction, it does not seal the fate.
Okay.
Because there are options. You can go upstairs and even go further. So to put it on record, it does not seal the fate. I think it only expands the legal jurisprudence, as it were. And we are watching the trend. You see, the reality of this is that it was an unnecessary fight. You know, big family. If you listen to my statement, the day the governor and the All Progressives Congress, our party, had this Thanksgiving service that was later crowned with a dinner in Government House. Yeah. I spoke on behalf of 24 of us. And I told the governor and the people of Edo State and the APC members that we were excited to come and work with the governor to generate good laws for good governance. And as a matter of fact, incidentally, that was my mantra when I was campaigning to be elected. Okay. Now, what people must know is that power is transient. When I was commissioner, because I listened to people, they say, oh, it's comrade. It's the fight between comrade and the governor. Yes. Then Washington and the 13 others must be stupid, let me use that language, if we do not know the reason why we were voted for. Take the governor out. Take the national chairman out. It will not reduce the contribution we have made to politics and the contribution we can still make to the governance of Edo State. I was commissioner. You know, when I was Commissioner for Education, let me remind the people, very many of them, they've forgotten that Washington as Commissioner for Education had reasons to argue with the comrade governor. Even in ESCO, what the governor knows about me, our dear governor today, is that Washington is a man that will do things that he wants to do. Okay. He's led by his conviction. And this battle is not about comrade, it's not about the governor, it's about democracy and the rule of law.
You have called it a battle, so which means, in effect, there's really a battle on the ground.
Let us not pretend about it. Okay. It is redefining the battle and giving it a title. This is to say, let us not hide under this, I don't know what they call it. It is Adams Ali Oshomole, comrade governor as he then was, now the APC national chairman, and Godwin Obaseki, governor of Edo State today. Both of them are not new to any of us. Myself and the governor, we were in the cabinet of Comrade Adams Ali Oshomole as governor of Edo State. Yeah. I was commissioner. He was our chief economic advisor. Fantastic man with good brain. I want to tell you, and I have told him and I will continue to tell him, I pity him. He too is a victim of poor advisors with inordinate and wicked ambition. So, but I just pray it doesn't get too late for him to realize it. Because I was excited, just like the 13 others, when I wanted to, when I, mooted the idea to to run, to represent my people, I had lots of dreams, lots of intention, you know, to join him, to realize the good and noble ideas. As a technocrat, I've written about him. In my press release that heralded my campaigns, titled The Legislator as a Tool for Social Change, it was clear. I narrated what I was coming to do, how I was coming to work with him. A robust House of Assembly, you know, occupied by matured people who know exactly what they are doing to drive the process of change.
Okay, if you're saying that this is not about the former governor and the current governor, what then is the crux of the matter?
It is about...
What stops the 14 of you from approaching the House to get inaugurated?
Thank you. Now, I am a lawyer. By all standards, I exhibited good conscience as an office holder. I couldn't have done all that I did as somebody that was appointed by head of executive who can hire and fire. But at the end of the day now, I am elected. I cannot stand to say the truth. I spoke the truth to power as commissioner. I will speak the truth to power as elected member. Okay? Now let me tell you. On the 17th of June, 10 days after the other house had a tenure of the house had elapsed, for a governor we all worked for a governor we dreamt to work with, to bring Edha, you know, to the level that he wanted it to be, as a technocrat, as a governor who thinks well. Thinking well is one thing, executing it is another thing. Government is not complete, especially in democracy, without the House of Assembly. And the difference between military rule and democracy is the presence or absence of the House of Assembly, as it were in this state. Now, that was supposed to be done. I expected, like I advised him, 24 of us are your brothers. Count yourself very lucky to have 24 of us. Work with us, all of us. Don't try to bring this divide and rule. It will not favor you. Okay? We have a mindset to come and work with you. But he allowed them to sink into his head. Okay? This idea that these guys were coming to impeach you. Who talks about impeachment, my brother? Who will he benefit if we impeach the government?
So that was never an intention.
It was never an intention, and it will never be the intention. I don't know whether you understand. You see,
if you say it was never the intention, and it will never be the intention,
no.
What stopped the 14 of you from approaching the House to get inaugurated now?
The reason why we didn't go then was because we were not invited.
Okay.
We were not invited. Now, there are two questions that can come from this. Were you invited? No.
But the clerk of the House said so?
No, you see, the clerk of the House says so.
Or said so?
Words are cheap. Opinions are cheap. Facts are sacred. I expected when they came from, he said so before they came from Abuja, from the National Assembly, both the Rep and Senate, they came with the committee. I expected him to furnish them with evidences to substantiate his claims. Okay. Let me tell you what you can't lie about, that he cannot prove today, because he cannot, is that he sent a message to us. At the appropriate time, let him show the call log or the message log from the network provider.
He cannot ever got any message?
I didn't get any message. I didn't get any, whether text or through call. There was nothing like that. Let me tell you, it is simple analogy. If they sent what was the rush about of midnight, 9:30 inauguration, does that make sense to anybody? It is not within the ambit of the rules of the House. So when they also talk about quorum, how can you be talking a quorum when the House has not been formed?
Yes.
You know, it is one thing before the other. Because they didn't do that. But I was saying there are two questions in one. Were you invited? No. If you were invited for the nocturnal activities, I am not a witch, I am not a wizard, I wouldn't have been there. Because it ran contrary to the rule of law.
Okay.
You see, for me and the 13 of us, we didn't contest this election because we wanted to become honorable.
Okay.
If you are honorable by title, but you act dishonorably, you are unworthy of that title.
Let me just take it on a point. You said you called the 14 of you and other elected members then, and the governor as brothers because you belong to the same APC family.
Yeah.
But how did we come about this plan by the National Assembly to take over the affairs of the State House of Assembly? Is it that a pointer to the fact that there were actually plans to impeach the governor or to change whatever arrangement that was on the ground in the House of Assembly for you guys' advantage as against that of the governor?
What was in the House of Assembly, if I may ask, before then? Before June 17th, the only thing that existed was the House of Assembly that has ceased to exist by reason of the death of their tenure. And between 7th, which would have been signaled the beginning of a fresh one, to the 10th when it was done, there was no assembly. And even till now, there's no assembly. So who planned those plans? And for what purpose? I had one-on-one with governor, and I still talk to him, because first, it's from my community. Okay? My community is the most backward in Edo. That was not what I bargained for. I'm telling you, no roads, no water, my local government, the governor, God bless him, he has continued to hammer of this, even when he was campaigning. And when I was excited that a man from my community was coming to contest, and we were going to use the opportunity, because they say charity begins at home, to change the narratives of the wounded people. Okay? And I told my people when I was campaigning that it will not be my responsibility to give them schools, to give them water, to give them motorable roads, to give them farm inputs, because we are agrarian. But I am also tired of hearing that we are agrarian when we are not insignificant in the affairs of the institution called Edo. Now, the question is, Oredo can celebrate the governor. If you are a member representing Oredo, it's nice, okay. Because you will assess what he's doing in that area and celebrate him. What shall I then Washington be doing when my local government is the most backward and it has been the situation? And I am coming to say, I have told him, the only reason why we can work together is go and transform the local government. Okay. And my people are poor, my locality is poor, the access to the villages, homes, and towns, to cities or whatever is completely cut off. No, I mean, we are not...
These same people came out to say the voyage of Barrister Washington Osifo in this whole matrix of discussion on this inauguration issue, that they didn't send you. And then when I had to issue a statement or grant a press conference suspending you from the party.
That is even laughable. They know they didn't suspend me. And they know they do not have the powers to suspend me. That is exactly the point. When I was coming, I told them, I don't know why they have forgotten. I will publish again the press release that I made when I was contesting. Okay? You see, I am a man who set a target for myself. And on the journey, I score myself. And I will publish again so that when you say the people, I think you say so insignificant few. I'm telling you, let me tell you, my dear brother, I got over 12,000 votes. It has never happened before. From 1999 till now, it has never happened that anybody contested. Samson Osage contested, ITV contested, Uwamuse contested. I tell you, go and check the results. Nobody. It means that everybody, majority of those who voted, voters in Uwunde, believed in my campaign, theory, and they voted for me. And I told them, one thing I told them, I will have courage to speak truth to power. And I reminded them that even as a commissioner, that could have been fired by the executive governor, I spoke truth to power. When these issues, if I do not agree with your policies, I will not. Most of the things I did when I was in Ministry of Education, I want to tell the people the reason why I'm pained. Most of the things I did when I was in Ministry of Education, fighting those persons who will come from our neighboring states to perpetrate examination malpractices here, and those quack schools we had that we have known. You followed me in some of those things. They are there in the YouTube and in your station. Okay. God bless ITV and all of that. I tell you, today, it pains my heart. Since I left, we took education at the lowest level to second and third, respectively, both NECO and WAEC. But I tell you today, it's just there. It's flat. I watch from the sidelines, and I see that these guys, they have come back again. These medical centers are everywhere. These ramshackle schools, in the name of private schools, they are everywhere. Even the worst aspect of it, even the ones of government, I had the courage then to reveal exactly what was happening with the government and also what was happening in the private. Because I was commissioner in the cabinet of Comrade, not to defend the government alone, but to speak to the ills such that government can correct it. I must be able to draw a good analogy and fairness. When condemning what is not happening well in the private sector, I must also be able to condemn what is not happening well in government. Now, if this was my character, and they knew me before they voted for me, to to change would be a disservice to majority of those who voted for me. So if you say a few persons with inordinate selfish ambition, same advising the governor, you know, to do what I think it is not in him to do what is happening. I'm telling you, Godwin Obaseki, governor of Edo State, is a man of peace. The reason why I was excited to contest is to work with him, to bring about his noble ideas of fast-tracking the growth and development, both economic, particularly economic growth. I had told him that today, there were two names that everywhere now that they call him, the wait and see and the MOU governor. When I met with him, I told him, I said, one is positive and one is negative. For the positive ones, wait and see. Fine, bravo. For the negative ones, the MOU governor. I said, the reason why they call you the MOU governor is because they think that you have signed a lot of MOUs, you know, and nothing is coming out of it. I said, what they don't know, that it is not new. Even as economic advisor, when Communist governor was there were lots of MOUs that were signed that never had the light of the day. I said, the reason is because you know that when we were commissioners, there were a lot of things we were supposed to do, even with the World Bank, that we couldn't do because they were not backed by laws. The first responsibility of an investor, investors are very intelligent people. They want to come and invest, but you must be able to guarantee their return on investment and their repatriation of their investment when the need arises. Then the security, if it is not there, they can do it. When I mean security, it is not the physical security that you can secure with guns or whatever. It is the ones that the law can guarantee the safety of their investment. I said most of those things are not there present. And if they are not there present, it will only die in your dreams and vision. But we want to take it from the realm of dream and vision to reality, to move the Edo people forward. Therefore, there are a lot of things we needed to, and I was excited that when I was coming, that what I could not do as a commissioner for education, and even energy and water resources, those deficits that were not backed by laws, that I did with good conscience. I was not going to come here, do it, and concentrate on it, because I believe. Are you now regretting?
Are you regretting any of these? With the way things
unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, when you have good thoughts for a system, and every day that is going, you are not. My election is tenured. I wanted to start well from the beginning so that I can also finish well. But I believe in God. I will still do more than God has asked me to come and do.
Now, on a parting note, you said a while ago that the issue is being misinterpreted by a lot of people out there to mean that this is a fight between the former governor, now the national chairman of the APC, and the incumbent governor. You said that is not the true position, that the governor is being misadvised. He's been led astray by some individuals around him for their own selfish
and inordinate ambition.
Now, what in your opinion will help to bring this issue to a quick end?
It's very simple. In saying this, I will even fault the judgment from as given by the Federal High Court in Abuja, where the Constitution they misinterpreted the Constitution when they said the governor cannot issue
a second proclamation.
Which section of the Constitution says he cannot do that? None. I think the best thing is that the Constitution is silent on it. That is the position. But to say that the Constitution didn't say he can do that, it is also in that Constitution that the Constitution didn't say he cannot do that. Let me tell you, if the information I got yesterday, because we started this whole thing, we are interested, this is our state, it will go down in history that we, however it comes out, it would have added and enriched the legal lexicon and the legal philosophy and jurisprudence of Edo State. And through Edo, the others will take the other part of Nigeria will take note when it comes to the issue of House of Assembly, when inauguration should be done and all of that. We're in court, and all of that. But the truth is that we didn't want to go to court because we thought that it was a family matter that could be resolved amicably. If what I'm hearing is correct, because I heard it from a senior legislator who was a member of the committee, the same committee that came here, who was also constituted to go to Bauchi. What I heard yesterday was that the Bauchi governor, of PDP extraction, so it is not a matter of party. It's a matter of person. None of us is above mistakes. When we make mistakes as leader, you must quickly notice and come back of it. The information I got yesterday is that he made a mistake just like what was done here. He had the decency to recall that letter, issue the second one. They went again, inaugurated at 6 a.m., which was also wrong. He recalled the second one again with a letter and issued a third one, for which all of them were not inaugurated. If that is correct, that is nobility. Quite commendable.
Is that what you expect in this case?
Obviously.
To resolve this matter?
You're
saying that the only option to resolve this is for another proclamation letter to be issued?
There are two issues here.
Yes.
As a lawyer, I've also advised. You either issue another proclamation if he says that that has been done. But the issue of the ignoble position taken by the clerk of the house, who was supposed to convey that information on the proclamation to the general public, including us. It was not the responsibility of the governor to invite us. He has no role to play.
Okay.
You understand? But the principal actor is the clerk. The clerk lied. And we will get to that. He never invited us. Okay? Although he too was a victim of political maneuverings, I sympathize with him. But however, he allowed himself to be used by men who do not mean well for this state. We are all here. One day, position is transient. One day we shall become formal.
So this resolving this issue is more political than legal.
Oh, definitely. If the governor wakes up today,
yes.
If the governor wakes up today,
yes.
Very many people will be talking to us. And we have sent messages to the governor through them. And look, what stops you? Have you ever invited any of us? So, young men, we are brothers. No, this was not what we promised to do people.
Okay.
You see, I am the governor. You know that. You are members elected. We know that. Let's resolve this thing like brothers. Okay? What do you think we can do? Now, I also heard, or I read on newspapers, that some leaders of thought of Benin extraction, they came together to say, we backed, including former legal icons, we backed what the governor did. Now, the question is that it is in Igbo's parable. When you have when an elder is in the market, you do not see a child in the mother's back with the head not properly positioned.
You just let the child.
And just let the child be, and pass judgment hurriedly on the mother as a careless mother. When you didn't call the attention of the mother to it, they never called us one day, any of us, to say, young men, no. As elders, we can't watch things go wrong. Let us hear from you. The right to be heard was not, they didn't allow to exercise it. Only for them to just come out to say, this is our position. How can you take a position when you have not heard from the other side?
Okay. Now, on the final note, there's been talks along the line of the fact that, well, this whole fight is also about stomach infrastructure.
Let me tell you, I said it in my write-up, that the politics of Nigeria, we have, the progress has been put on the reverse gear because of this issue of stomach infrastructure since 1999. Okay? And I said, these are not the right signals for a democracy that is supposed to be moving forward. Poor leadership, we are today bedeviled, or dragged down. Our progress is dragged down by poor leadership and poor followership. Therefore, for us to get it right, we must do things differently. Okay? And doing things differently will mean that we are now anticipating a different solution. How can we do things the same way and expect a different thing? So for me, when the governor came, it was very clear. I'm not a politician. I'm a technocrat, administrative expert, and I believe he is, okay, because I've worked with him, we have worked together, sound mind in a sound body. But when you are praying for leadership, position of leadership, also pray that you do not surround yourself, with people with mischievous ideas who want to use you to fight their selfish goals. You understand? Because this is not his fight. He had no reason whatsoever. Fine, gentle, brilliant guy, doing well. But I tell you, since this battle started, you see the progress had been delayed. He knew it right from when he came, that he was not going to get himself messed up in the murky waters of politics. And he was getting it right. Until an idea was sold to him that these guys were your enemies and they were coming to derail you and all of that. But he suddenly didn't remember that this was not what I promised my people. I promised to unite the house and move the state forward. Okay? Now, the advice for him, like I told him privately and I've told him publicly, and I'm just saying now, said it on several TV stations and even spoken to him privately and all of that. Now look, he should go back to how it started. Okay? He was getting it right until he allowed certain persons with selfish, inordinate ambition to derail his work plan. Okay? I wish him well, and I hope he finish well. Okay? But there's no Edo Assembly, and the right thing must be done.
Okay, thank you so much. I've been talking with Barrister Washington Osa Osifo, member-elect to whom the constituency, the State House of Assembly, one of the 14 members-elect that are yet to be inaugurated. Of course, finding a pathway to a lasting peace in the Edo State House of Assembly so we can engender good governance is the thrust of this discussion. And talking about peace, a major plank of development that is eluding the society. We'll be talking with a very spiritual personality to give us perspectives on that when we return after this short break on TMI. Don't go away.